Needed an extra minute today. It's April 2026 and I'm on day 22 or 23 of my cycle. I'll have to look it up. But I definitely feel like I have entered the luteal phase and I'm feeling kind of vulnerable today and definitely emotional. And I wasn't going to do a video, but then I thought it might be good for me to talk and maybe something honest will come out. This phase in my cycle is kind of the hardest for me to accept myself because I'm not energized in the same way. And I guess growing up, I always felt like I had to keep up, and if I couldn't keep up, there was something wrong with me. So this phase always feels a bit tender, and that's okay. And I am going to choose to show up anyway. I am choosing to show up anyway. But this painting here that is on top, there are two paintings. I have a big one underneath, and then I have this one, which is, I think it's about 24 by 30. It could also be 24 by 36. But I was working on this last night, and I'm kind of at this point where I'm attached to it. So I don't want to work on it right now. I want to give it a little bit of breathing space and just distance myself from it, because I find that the times when I am very attached to a piece, if I go in, it usually ends in frustration or my old story creeping up, which is I ruined it, even though it's part of the process and change is inevitable when you're making art, especially abstract art. And for me, it's like every layer tells a story. But just how I'm feeling today, I'm protecting myself from that because I don't know if I would handle it all that well. So I still have all my collage stuff out, and instead of working on this piece, I'm going to work on the big one behind it, which already has lots of layers. It's just this one I set aside maybe a month or two ago because I was also feeling the same. I was feeling attached to it, and I'm not feeling that way anymore about the bigger one. So I will be able to move forward with that one. So I'm gonna move this one out of the way. And this is the other one that I'm going to work on. I've done layers of paint already. I actually found this one in the dumpster outside this canvas, outside of our studio, because I don't know if it's anybody's in the building, but it was in the garbage. So I painted over it completely. And I've added a few collage pieces so far, and I've sanded it away. Like this here is modeling paste because I sanded too far and went through the canvas. So you can actually see on the other side where I've repaired it, which is just showing me that the way that my process is evolving, my materials have to evolve too. So I have a bunch of canvases right now, but once I have exhausted all my canvases, I'm going to switch over to work on a wood panel because I feel like they'll just be more resilient. And I kind of like the fact that I've like repaired them. It shows the process. It also shows, you know, nothing's really ruined ever. It reminds me of the Japanese concept. I forget their name for it, but if a bowl or a cup breaks, they end up gluing it back together and mending it with gold so that it's actually stronger than it was before, and the broken piece is celebrated. So it's not a mistake, it's just, it's like continuing its journey as an object, which I really love. So in the center here, you can see this was an image transfer of zebras. I don't know why I did that. And then this was also an image transfer. And we have some collage up there. And oh, and there's a piece of paper here. I really liked these colors on this this like pink and green, so I'll probably keep that. But again, it can also be added on top of. It's just part of how I work. I try to keep the areas that I like, but in the end, I never know. I never know what it's going to be. But I knew this morning on my drive-in that today was a vulnerable day. I like this image. This is cool. I'm gonna cut this out. It's a purse or something, but I'm gonna cut that out. Actually, I knew before I got in the car because it took me almost an hour to get dressed today, to even just decide what I wanted to wear. Because it's warm out today. It's like 19 degrees, I think, but my car said that it was 23 degrees. And JD and I did a walk on the beach before we came here, which really helped. It's just the grounding. The grounding is so nice. It felt like a summer day. So yeah, there was the indecisiveness of what to wear today based on the weather. And I ended up turning around, like I had left. I was in the car and I ended up turning around and going back home and changing. Because I couldn't decide. I couldn't get comfortable. And when I finally went outside, I was like, oh, it's like a lot warmer than I thought. And it's warm in the studio today. We got here and JD said, oh, it's almost time to get the AC out. And then on my drive-in, I had a good cry listening to some music, and I couldn't even really tell you what I was crying about. It was just a release, I guess. And that's when I knew, like today was not a day to experiment with a piece of art that I'm really loving. There will come a time when, like, not just where I'm at a different place in my cycle, but where I've moved on to a new art piece that I'm loving even more than that one. And that's when I can move forward with that one. But it's interesting because I considered like not continuing with it, but like just keeping it as is. But part of me feels like it's not finished. So we'll see. There's also no rush. This is what I have to keep reminding myself. There's absolutely no rush. And a lot of my canvases have stayed, you know, unfinished, whatever that means, or in different processes, different stages for years. And I just keep coming back to them and I keep reworking them, and I think just allowing things to be unfinished is definitely one of my lessons in this life. Because in human design, in my chart, I have an undefined root center, which gives pressure to do things and pressure to get things done. And it's almost like I can't relax until like my to-do list is done, which makes no sense because like our to-do list is literally just a list that we have created for ourselves. And we can always change the list. Like take something off our plate or rejig it so it's like, well, that deadline didn't really work. Like it's not really working for me. I'm feeling pressure. I'm feeling stressed. So I have this image that I cut out from an embroidery book a couple days ago, and I'm really loving the texture of it. This was actually the underside. And I don't really have a plan in life. I don't really have a plan for this painting, so I'm just kind of laying some stuff down. This is one of the things that I really love about collage is that you can change your mind and you can see how things are laid out before committing. So often I will leave something and come back to it the next day, and it's like immediately I see it with fresh eyes and I go do 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 do, and I just move things around, and then it's like, yep, that's where that wants to live. I remember when I was in my 20s and I was reading Marie Kondo's book. I forget the name of the book, but it's Marie Kondo, and she was like the organization. She had a show on Netflix, I think. But it was all about like keeping what you love and getting rid of the rest, but getting rid of it like and being grateful for it. And I know I had a purpose to what I was talking about, but it just like left. It'll come back though. It was Marie Kondo. I guess I just have to be okay with that. Like, I'm literally talking about something and then all of a sudden, like, what was I talking about? Couldn't tell you. it was objects. She was saying how objects will always tell you how they want to be stored or where they want to live, like how they want to be placed, how they want to be taken care of. She was talking about clothing and like how to fold clothing. And like if you really listen, you can see like that sweater wants to be folded in that specific way, and I really feel like that about the collage too, the papers. It's like the images have their own idea of where they want to go. Some things just like, yeah, I'll put that there and layer over top of it and see what comes, but other things, they just like slot right together and like they were made for each other. Those are my favorite pairings. But I had to stop trying to think about it in order for the thought to come back to me. Can't force it. Cannot force it. This is cool. Some sort of lights, but they look like eyes. I don't know if the glare from the camera above, like if there's a glare or not. Some of the papers are kind of glossy and some of them are matte, and I find that the darker ones, when I'm taking photos, if they're too glossy, they won't show up on the camera. They're just reflecting the light. I'm just playing with composition right now and color. The painting kind of has a color scheme already developed, but it could just be the underpainting. Like I think I could really take it in any direction that I want, which I like. I actually did have a plan for this painting, and I might have written it down in a sketchbook, because I can't remember what the plan was. The thing with me is I have so many ideas swirling around, and it's almost like it has to be the perfect time in order for the idea to be executed, because I have to have the energy, I have to be not working on something else. I have to be able to work with that idea in that moment. Otherwise, if it's a really good idea, I will document it in my sketchbook or my notes app. But sometimes I go back to my notes app and I'm like, what does that even mean? Because trying to explain visually what I'm thinking in words, it's like, it's a challenge sometimes. So even my own notes, I don't know. It's like, oh, really don't know what I meant by that. This is cool. This is a cluster of torn pages from the previous painting that I showed at the beginning. And there must have been a bit of glue on some of them because they just sort of like stuck together. I kind of really like that. I'll keep them. That's what I was talking about before. The images they know where they want to go and how they want to be placed together. And this is like the perfect example of that. Like this, these are 4 different pieces that just got stuck together, and now they're together. I like that. Kind of like when you go through life and you just, you know, you find your people and you didn't really know that they existed or that your world was going to be changed because of them. I read something the other day in the Diary of a Nay Nin. She was talking about how her theory is that each time she meets a new friend, she unlocks a new part of herself. And I'll have to find the quote, and I can maybe talk about it further in one of my emails. But yeah, I really, really loved that idea. It was like, if you think about it, each person that we're interacting with in our day-to-day life is a mirror for a piece of us. And we may not even know that that piece of us exists until we meet that person. I thought that was really beautiful. I really like this image, which I don't know if you can see it. It's a woman, she has her hands together here. She's sitting on a couch, and this is her leg, and this is her other leg, and she's wearing a black shirt. But I painted over it at some point. I don't even remember doing that. Oh, maybe it was around this time where I was experimenting with different ways to use up the paint in my palettes if I hadn't used it all completely in that painting. And so I was painting on paper, but I was also painting on magazine images. And I really quite like this one. Oh, Faith Hill. Hello, Faith. So I'm going to set that one aside because I want to use it. I want to use it somewhere. I'm just sort of going through what I have right now. Oh, those are nice. I like this. It's like a white plate with daisies on it. And then this one has some leaf, it says leafy prints. But I like that too. So what I'm noticing that I'm drawn to right now are, I mean, I think I always am drawn to it, but today in particular, these round shapes. And then we have this purse or whatever that I cut out, which kind of makes sense because I think this painting has a lot of very angular lines and brush strokes. And in my last video, I talked about how I like to marry the masculine and feminine together. So the angular shapes and brush strokes and lines would be masculine qualities, and then the round, even like the leaf, like this is very organic. That would be a feminine quality. So in my work, I like to play with both. think instead of cutting this, no, I thought I was gonna rip it, but this is what I mean. I am indecisive today and trying to accept that part of myself and not be, not talk down to myself because of it. In my mind, it's like, oh, I'm not efficient, or yeah, I guess that is my story. Like, I'm not being efficient. I'm scattered, and but it's okay to be scattered. It's okay. And it's okay to be indecisive, and it's okay to just not feel my best, but to show up anyway. I find that there's a balance between that, because for years, my whole life, I showed up, I would force myself to show up when I didn't feel like it, when I was tired or my body was sore, or, you know, I made up a story like, well, I committed, so I have to follow through. People depend on me. And one of my friends actually said to me at one time, which was like such an aha moment, she said to me, "You're allowed to change your mind." And I was like, oh, right. Yes. And just having her tell me that was like a permission slip. And came at the perfect time, because I was experimenting, just beginning my human design experiment. I love this. I love these two leaves, and then the plate with the daisies. I like how they're talking to each other. And I feel like this cluster should go like on this white. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can see their hands here and then hands here, kind of like that. This might not. I keep trying to use this blue in things because I really, really like it. I feel like it would make a really incredible background color, so I will probably keep it, even though it's very vibrant. I mean, this red is very vibrant too, but I'm going to change this orientation here. Yeah, so I was just beginning my human design experiment and learning that I am a projector and I don't have the same access to energy that a generator would have. And so my friend saying that to me, it was Nicole, she was the one who introduced me to human design. It was like she unlocked something in me where I realized, like, oh yeah, I did make a commitment, but I was feeling a specific way at that time, and I can change my mind about that if I want. So now I'm very careful with committing to something. Well, even just like saying that I'm going to do something. This comes from the undefined ego center, and mine's completely open. I'm just gonna shift because my legs are falling asleep. Yeah, I'm very aware now of making commitments, and it's actually made it easier for me to follow through on commitments to myself, because now I'm doing things that I want to be doing versus things that I think I need to be doing or I should be doing. Louise Hay, I learned so much from her. She was a big part of my journey after my mom died, and she used to say, you know, try not to use the word should when you're talking to yourself, like I should do this or I should have done that, because should makes us wrong in some way. Like this. And the more that I learn about this life, the more that I realize there is no wrong. It's just our perspective on it, on something. I don't know, my brain's like going off as I'm saying that. I'm sure that there would be people who would disagree with me. But I really do believe that people are basically good. We are inherently good. And we just want what's best for each other. And I think it's just life and traumas and patterns that make people act a certain way. We're acting subconsciously out of our traumas. Here's that shape again. This like, oh yeah. This is an image from the Titanic. I bought a book that had images of the sets and scenes, and there were even some fashion drawings from the costume department. I really like that. This dome is gonna go somewhere. Kind of looks like a mess right now. Pretty all over the place. But I kind of like that. And I just keep reminding myself that it's just a layer. It's just another layer. And this layer will inform the next layer. And just because I don't see it yet doesn't mean that I'm not going in the right direction. Like, I really don't see this one. I don't mean that like I don't like it. It's just like my mind wants to make sense of it. Like, what kind of painting is this going to be? What's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? What symbols should we use? What composition should we use? It's like the brain is just constantly going. My moon is in Gemini, And that's probably why. It's probably why my brain never stops. But I just remind myself that, you know, to just keep going. Just keep going. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. And I feel like that's such an important motto for life too. Like, just keep going. Oh, this. So I have different piles. I have all these piles of papers around me, and they are organized. But like, I still don't really know. Like, this one is metals. This pile is reds. Wow. What a powerful image. I'm really loving this blue hood she has on, so I'm going to cut that out. To me, that looks like a brush stroke. I love finding images that look like painting. I call it painting with paper. Yeah, that's nice. Usually when I have something angular like this, I will put it up against something else angular, so it becomes its own. That's not a good example because this one's very angular, but like if I were to put these two up against each other, no, do the two blue ones, they kind of become their own shape. So it's less about the straight line. I do have some blue in this painting, but it's like a dark blue. Yeah, this one has just kind of stumped me. Whereas, like, when I'm at this place where I don't know, I try to turn off my brain and just do whatever, like, whatever. Like, stop trying to make it something. Stop trying to plan. I was talking to myself right now. I mean, I'm always talking to myself. That's what this is. A video diary of me talking to myself. The videos have felt so easy. Even today. Like, they're just like flowing, they're coming naturally, and it really helps that I have JD to help me with the camera work. If he wasn't helping, I'd be pulling my hair out right now. It's kind of like interesting. I feel like it needs some other bigger pieces. But like, this box is my like cut images. Things that I have saved that have been cut out from other things. The other thing is I don't want to cover up too much of the paint background, but it might just come to that. What I try to do is let the painting composition inform the final composition, but it never really ends up being that way. I guess if I were to sum it up, it would be, how can I allow the work to be what it wants to be? How can I get out of my own way and not try to control and not even really have a hand in it, but allow the universal force to take over. I mean, that's always the goal, but it's, can I get out of the way? I feel like it's easier on days like today where I just don't give a shit. Like, yeah, sure. Let's add this. I feel like this is throwing me off, the first thing that I cut. I'm gonna set that aside. It's just something about it. Oh, do you know what I don't have in this yet is a woman. I try to include women in all of my work. Well, I don't even know if I try. I feel like they just show up because I find them so beautiful. The images that I have of women are so beautiful. And it is a mirror for me to see, to learn about myself, what it means to be a woman in this lifetime. This is so cool. I cut this out and I was going to use it I forget what piece I was going to use it in, but I feel like this needs to be prominent, like added in at the end or close to the end of a painting. It's not a first layer piece, because the first layers usually get covered over, or mostly covered over, but not always. Oh, that's cool. I always save these pieces here. Like, I'll cut something out and then I save the piece that was around it, and then I can use it. Like this one here, this was a man that I cut out, and then I can use it to highlight different things. It just adds that interesting layer. That's cool. Like, this was just a few images and now it looks intentional. gonna set this aside because I want to use that at some point. This has some great texture in it too. Oh, she's standing on top of a dragon, it looks like. It's an angel in a red skirt. I'm gonna use this somewhere. Maybe on the other side. It's a big canvas. The whole canvas isn't even fitting in the frame. So I'm just working on this side, and then once I'm done my video, my vlog, I will probably start working on the other side. I think I'm feeling like I'm at a point where I might start gluing soon. And when I say that, it sounds like it will be final. Like the gluing is final. It's not final. There's nothing final about this painting. I feel like I have to say that because like I'm posting it online and it's like, what is she doing? That's the worst painting I've ever seen. In my last email newsletter, I talked about that. My fear around being a shit artist. I feel like every artist goes through that. Like we all feel that at one point or another. Even after all these years, it still crops up for me from time to time. And I feel like I have to explain to people, like, it's just a layer. This is just part of the process. It's just the layer. But I've said it so much now that JD's like, you always say that. I know, it's not finished. It's part of the process. And then I realized, like, oh yeah, it's like, I don't even know when the painting will be finished. It's all about the process for me. It's only about the process. It's not about a finished painting. The finished painting is just, it's just the gift that comes from showing up every day. I was gonna add slogging through it. The gift of slogging through it. It's not really a slog. It's really playing. It is playing. Just where I'm at today, I'm feeling spicy. Spicy and melancholic. It's not a good combo. Or maybe it's the best combo. So in my email newsletters, I go deeper into topics that I talk about here. And I'll put a link in the description if anybody's interested in reading. It's just like another layer to this. So I really enjoy writing and I really enjoy speaking and I enjoy creating. Oh, that's cool. It's a caribou and then this Scotch whiskey ad that got stuck to it. That's like two different pieces that just wanted to be together, like I was talking about. It's all different forms of expression. all different forms of the same thing, me trying to figure out what I am doing, why I'm here, who I am, what my place in this world is, why I need to do this, why I feel like I need to show up and create in order to be myself. But why? So I feel like speaking, making art, writing, they're all just trying to make sense of the same thing. But the newsletter is a place where I can divulge deeper. Just feels less exposed, I guess. It's more intimate, for sure. Oh, this is cool. I'm just, I think I've abandoned the composition. It was just like layering and layering and, oh, this is fun, this is fun. Okay, so let's see. I don't want the caribou in there. But this image is, it was from a food article, I think, where it's like pomegranate juice. That's what it was. It was pomegranate juice. And I cut it out because I thought that looks like paint. So that, I'm going to use that somewhere. And I like these bird wings too, but I think they're going to go on the other side of the canvas, maybe. What I'm going to do after I glue this stuff is I might layer some more collage. I might add some paint. Or I might take a nap. It might be a nap day today. No, I'm having fun. This is, for me, this is another form of rest. So I don't want to cover this up, but I really like these colors. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. I think that sigh was my indicator to wrap it up. I feel like I've said a lot today. And I'm feeling good. The thing with speaking, with being a self-projected projector, is my authority. I have to speak in order to come to a decision. There are no decisions to be made. Like, I haven't had an invitation to make a decision. However, just speaking feels like it's getting the energy moving, and I feel less stagnant. I feel less blocked. I feel less emotional. I actually do feel less emotional since this morning. And I'm treating it as an experiment, learning how my authority works and how my voice carries information based on tone and even the pauses. have information in them. So I feel like the more that I do this, the speaking on camera, when it does come time to make a decision based on an invitation, that's the thing, the projector waits for the invitation, then I'll just know. It'll just be easier because I've gotten to a point where I can trust my voice and I can trust the information that's coming out. It's coming from my soul. And I think that's what this is all about. The videos and the speaking on camera, and I'm just using it all as information. I like that. I like all of it.